The national famous rice balls, onigiri. They're so versatile, fast and easy to make. Everyone should make them at least once because they're so amazingly delicious. I'll explain you the techniques, variations of onigiris, tips and tricks on how to make, eat and reheat them. We'll start from level 1 all the way up to level 4 to cover the fundamentals, but sky is the limit with these balls. So grab your apron and let's go.
First, let's talk rice, the main ingredient of an onigiri. So preparing your rice correctly is crucial. You need high quality short grain rice, often referred to as sushi rice or Japanese rice. This rice is more sticky than others and necessary to form a nice rice ball. For this recipe, I weigh around 400 grams of rice and 480 milliliters of water. The perfect ratio is always 1 time rice to 1.2 times water. Once you've weighed your rice and water, the next is also very crucial. And by the way, this is the most work you have to do in the whole recipe. The rest is done in seconds. Wash your rice at least 3 times or until the water turns less cloudy. You are removing excess starch for the perfect sticky texture. You can do it in a bowl like I do or just in your sink with running water. Then it's time to cook your rice. I recommend you buy a rice cooker because it makes things very easy, but in a pan with a lid can also do the job. I would suggest adding a kitchen towel in between your lid and your pan to make it more airtight so it traps the steam better. It takes between 12 to 15 minutes to cook your rice, and that's similar in the rice cooker. Oh, and never take off the lid during cooking. The steam is what makes it sticky. So if you take off the lid, it will release the steams and there is no stickiness anymore. While that is cooking, let's grab our seaweed, also known as nori leaves. This is dried seaweed and you want to keep it dry to make sure it keeps it crisp. Fold it a few times in half like I do here. We'll place this around the onigiri later. How much nori you add to the onigiri depends on what kind of onigiri you want to make. So keep different sized nori in an airtight Ziploc bag so it stays dry while you store them. Our rice is done, so with a large rice spoon, turn it around a few times and then I use my hangiri, what is a Japanese wooden bowl used by sushi chefs for easy handling of the rice. Now if you don't have one of these or you don't want to be culturally fancy like I do, you can also just use any bowl to throw your rice in. It also helps with cooling down the rice. Now with the ingredients ready, let's make our first test onigiri. So I can show you how to shape them and then we move on to the seasoned and stuffed ones in the next levels. Now what is important to shape the onigiris is to wet your hands slightly. This helps against the stickiness. Make sure they're not too wet and not too dry. Then grab some coarse salt and rub that between your hands. Grab a good palm full of rice. An onigiri varies in between 50 to 80 grams per rice ball. Then cup your hands together like a mountain with 2 fingers like I do here. What is crucial here is that you do not press too hard. Otherwise it becomes a solid rock of rice and that's not tasty, trust me. It should be loose but it should stick together nicely and not fall apart in your hands. This takes a few times to practice, but it's easy to learn. Then grab a nori strip and place it around the rice ball and voila, you got your first onigiri. There are some other shaping techniques, but I'll show you these techniques in the next onigiris. So now we got the basics done, let's go to level 1. The omibushi onigiri, aka the Japanese plum onigiri. Omibushis are Japanese plums and they're salty and sour and amazing in rice balls. Now we do the same gesture as the first onigiri, but this time we make a little hole in the middle, place the omibushi in the middle and cup the rice around. Gently move the rice together within your palms and wrap around the nori. And boom, that's level 1 done. Quickly on to level 2, and for this we'll make the famous Tuna Mayo onigiri. For the filling, I add 1 can of tuna in oil with 1 teaspoon of soy sauce and 1.5 tablespoon of kewpie mayo. Mix that together and set aside. Then let's shape the onigiri, shall we? But this time, I'll show you another forming technique. Grab a small bowl with some plastic wrap, water and salt your hands and grab some rice. Place it into a bowl and form it towards the sides. Then add 1 teaspoon of your tuna mayo mixture to the middle. Now another note, don't be too greedy with your filling. I know it's tempting, I've been there. But you need to use the right amount so the rice ball can still close and stick on all sides. Then with the plastic wrap, fold the rice together and close it. Then mold it with the plastic wrap in your hand into a triangular shape. Unwrap it and add your nori to it. This time, we'll also add some more around the whole onigiri, and to the top we add some of the filling so we know what's in it. And that's level 2 done. On to level 3. This isn't particularly harder, but it's different and more work perhaps. Spoiler alert, that's the same for level 4. We'll make our own furikake, which is Japanese rice seasoning. You can buy this in the store, but it's really easy to make yourself. So break down a nori sheet, add 2 tablespoons of white sesame seeds and 1 tablespoon of black sesame seeds, 1 teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and mix that together. Add it to a spice blender and blitz a few times only. Now you have wonderful Japanese rice seasoning. Oh, and the combination of these are endless. You can make it spicy by adding some more spices or any other thing that makes it even more delicious. But this is a basic furikake. Then grab some rice, without salt this time because we'll mix the furikake with the rice before molding. So mix it in a bowl. Shape your onigiri and add your nori, and voila, level 3 is done. Now for the final boss, level 4. And for this one, I'll give you 2 recipes, a fish and a chicken one. These are both my absolute favorites, so like and subscribe if you've made it this far, and let's then now move on to level 4. We make a quick miso marinade for the salmon, so to a bowl add 2 tablespoons of white miso paste, 1 tablespoon of sake, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. And not to forget 1 teaspoon of mirin. Mix that together and add your salmon in there for about 20 minutes. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 390 degrees Fahrenheit. And add your salmon to the oven for 5 minutes. Once done, take it out and look at the perfectly cooked salmon. It just falls apart amazingly. Grab a piece of salmon, add it to your rice bowl, and no, we're not going to add some nori here, but we're going to make a yaki onigiri. What is a grilled onigiri? So to a non-stick pan, add some olive oil on medium heat, add the rice ball that you've shaped and glazed on both sides with some soy sauce and miso paste mixture. Now this is great to do after you've directly shaped them, but it's also a great way to reheat your onigiris if you want to save them for lunch or dinner. I would suggest to never make onigiris too far in advance, so make sure you eat them the same day, otherwise the rice just gets dry and it's not nice anymore. But this is a great way to revive them for later in the day if you want to snack on them in the evening. Another thing to keep in mind is the dry nori sheet. If you want to give some onigiris to your kids for lunch or eat them later yourself, make sure you pack your rice ball in plastic wrap and then wrap around your nori sheet with another piece of plastic wrap around like I do here. Otherwise you will have a wet, chewy nori sheet. Then for the final end all be all karage onigiri, fried chicken onigiri. This is hands down my favorite. So cut some chicken thighs into small bite-sized pieces that fit into your onigiri. Then to a bowl add for the marinade 1 teaspoon of ginger paste, 1 crushed clove of garlic, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sake, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Mix that together and set aside for 20 minutes or so. Then in one bowl, add some all-purpose flour, and to another bowl, add potato or cornstarch. Heat your canola or sunflower oil to 180 degrees Celsius or 360 degrees Fahrenheit, and then coat your chicken first in the flour and then in the starch. Remove some excess flour and fry them for 2 to 3 minutes max. Take them out, salt them immediately, and start assembling your onigiri. By now you know the drill, right? Water, salt, rice, and chicken in the middle. Shape it into a triangular cone. I dusted even some more furikake on the top and added half a nori sheet so it sits nice and cozy in there. Add a small piece of chicken to the top so you know what's in it, and there you have it. All the onigiris done. Now they all taste absolutely amazing, and I encourage you to follow all these tips, not pressing it too hard together, the right amount of filling and dry nori sheets to get the most optimal tasting, best Japanese snack. Having onigiris in your arsenal is great for life. You're welcome and enjoy.
So now you can make your own onigiri combinations. I would love to hear what kind of combinations you make. Leave that in the comments below. But if you're looking for another national snack from another country that I really like making as well, check out these 2 very different samosas that suits anybody at any party. So I'll see you in that video. Bye-bye for now.